I know that we use the word chapel here for this time and space, but I'm just going to invite us to also think of this as a sangha. In Buddhism, sangha it's everything. It's community. It's the people that you sit with, you engage with. It's your family. It's the earth, the trees, the water. It's all sort of interconnected. Um, And in Buddhism, we say like we take refuge in Sangha. So I'm just inviting you to take refuge in each other, in United, in the beautiful sun outside. Um, and yeah. So this chapel is actually going to be about prayer and the many different ways that we can pray. I have my own journey as a chaplain has been that prayer is pretty stressful for me. I don't pray really. I meditate. I do other things. So it's been an interesting journey to learn how to chaplain mostly Christian people in a hospital setting and just be comfortable with praying with people. And this last unit that I just finished with of CPE, I've sort of like found my prayer voice. I was with a patient. She was an older woman. There's always this stressful moment where I'm like, I should offer to pray, and then I hope that they'll say no, So I'm like, oh, I should offer to pray. So I offered to pray. She said yes, yes. So I started praying, and the other big thing is like extemporaneous prayers. Like, whoa, that's just like too scary for me. So I start praying, and she just like grabs my hands and starts talking over me and praying for me too. And it was like, I literally started crying. It was so beautiful to hear her say these like well-wishing words for me too. And I just realized, oh, I'm trying to figure out something that I'm only doing in one direction. I'm just doing it to them. And it's actually this exchange. And it felt so good to have that exchange. And so I wrote a verbatim on it and brought it to my group. And at the very end of the verbatim, I said, like, should we pray more together? And everyone was like, oh my God, Scotty, we cannot believe that you just said that. But that like changed everything for me. Just like realizing that it's not this thing that I'm just talking to people or at people or for people. Like, it's actually this exchange. What do you have to say about prayer?
Thank you. Did you want to read this?
Oh yeah, I was gonna just read this quote. I'm sure everyone knows it from Mary Oliver. I think the poem's called Summer Day or something like that. But just this little part I love. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I've been doing all day today. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?
So when Scotty did go through their CPE, one of my bigger questions was, how did you pray? How did you figure it out? Do you say, dear God? What do you do? I had a lot of curiosities around it. And so today for our shared chapel, we were like, how do we kind of describe one thing that we've learned in seminary together? And this prayer topic kind of came up. And so today we are centering around what prayer means, what it looks like, and what it feels like. And today we offer it as an invitation for all of us here to not just learn new ways about prayer, but to remember those ways and differing ways about prayer. And to remember that prayer is always there for us and accessible to us. We believe that prayer should be accessible to all who seek it, and that it can be practiced with each one of our senses in our bodies. So our question today is, how can we pray with each sense in our body? And we would like to invite everyone here this question into their bodies, into your own prayer practices, just to think about in your own practice, how do each of your senses become incorporated into it? Whether or not you already practice with your entire full embodiment or not. We want to just kind of think about it today and elicit the reminder that prayer lives in our whole selves.
So we're going to start with sound. And I'm going to actually... Can I just invite you to listen?
If it be your will that I speak no more, and my voice be still as it was before, I will speak no more. I shall abide until I am spoken for. If it be your will, if it be your will, let a voice be true from this broken hill. I will sing to you from this broken hill. All your praises they shall ring. If it be your will to let me sing. Broken hill, all your praises they shall ring. If it be your will to let me sing. If it be your will, if there is a choice, let the rivers fill, let the hills rejoice, let your mercy spill on all these burning hearts in hell. If it be your will to make us well, draw us near and bind us tight. All your children here in their rags of light, in our rags of light, all dressed to kill. In this night, if it be your will, if it be your will.
I am a firm believer that Leonard Cohen was a theologian. I've written papers on it. Yeah, I feel music is probably one of the easiest ways for me to pray, to feel connection in my body, to feel connection to the rest of the world. Yeah, there's something about the feeling a bass, like the instruments. I I grew up Catholic, and although I really struggled with a lot about Catholicism, I loved the music. I loved this idea that buildings are built just to make it sound beautiful, you know? And so, yeah.
And the next sense that we'll move to is our sense of smell. When I feel anxious, scared, upset, or just ungrounded, I often want to pray for groundedness. I want to pray for ease. I want to pray for comfort and pray for protection. And I find my sense of smell to be useful in this prayer practice to find these feelings and to sort of build them within my body. And it might sound really silly, but one way that I do this is to get really, really close to my dog and to smell my dog's body odor. After my dog has been like up against my lap for a while, or has been buried underneath blankets all day, or just has been like in his little shaped croissant body for a while, when he unfurls for me and he like shows me that he's like, his belly is there and he just like wants my touch and I can like put my face in there, the smell that I get from his body reminds me that he's safe, he's comfortable, he's healthy, he's warm, and it brings me such comfort and ease and a feeling of protection to know that this little creature, that if this little creature that I'm taking care of is feeling all of these things, then I can as well. So I often go to him in these feelings of discomfort or unease, and I just ask for an invitation to put my face near his little body so that I can sort of share in this little practice for both of us of like taking our whole senses and just like inhaling each other to feel the love and to feel the comfort that we feel and the safety. And it just reminds me that smell and the practice of this smell is to give my attention to the places and to the people and the little creatures that I do put these feelings of love into, that I do build these sort of like structures of safety and comfort and ease for myself, so that I can just be reminded that it's there. And smell for me is one of those things that uniquely is such a great reminder that we are in a good space and that things are okay.
So the next prayer we're going to just.
Yes. Yes.
Really why you're going to invite us to smell each other.
I mean,
Please do. Great. Good instincts.
So next we're going to talk about taste. One of the things that I love talking about when I'm leading a meditation retreat is offering words around mindful eating. And part of it is just that we've been eating as long as we can remember, right? Like literally it's the first thing we do besides maybe cry. And so it's just so easy to not think about it and just, you know, you're like, I'm driving, I'm eating, I'm biking, I'm eating, whatever. Just so easy to like do it and not be present for it. And so inviting people on retreat to really slow down and be present for each bite, sometimes like maybe put your fork down in between. It not only allows us to be mindful at all times, but it also, I see it as a way to connect with the planet, to think about like the sun and the water and the workers that picked this or grew this. And that ultimately we're all connected, everything's connected. And mindful eating is a really beautiful way to have that connection feel very real and tangible. I have this prayer that we say at Common Ground has a retreat center in Wisconsin. I'm sure you've probably been there. And one of the prayers that we say before eating, I just love, so I'm going to read it. As we prepare to eat this food, we remember with gratitude the people, animals, plants, insects, creatures of the sky and sea, air and water, fire and earth, all turning in the wheel of living and dying, whose joyful exertion, not separate from ours, provides our sustenance this day. May we, with the blessing of this food, join our hearts to the one heart of the world in awareness and love, and may we together with everyone realize the path of awakening and never stop making effort for the benefit of others. I just love that grace before connecting, communing with food, and communing with the planet. You can't really, if you're present with it, you can't forget that we're all connected. So.
The next sense that I will more directly invite you to feel with us is the sense of touch. And I will invite a little practice that you can do from your chair, that you can do from home, that you can completely ignore the directions of. Do whatever you want to. But it is a practice that I just learned in acting class to start to really feel things, literally feel what our body, the energy that our body can sort of connect to through touch and through its movement. And so I ask you to just put your hands together in this shape, like this, and you're just going to start to rub them together. And you can go as soft or as fast as you'd like, but the goal is that you start to feel the friction between your two hands, and that it somehow, at some speed, starts to build heat. And remember that heat that's coming from your hands is coming from your body. It's being created from your body. And just go a little bit longer and try to make it feel a little bit hotter without hurting yourself or burning yourself. Yeah, combusting. And then just feel your hands together very close without touching. And feel the magneticism that you've created with that friction. And that your hands want to feel each other, they want to touch each other, but we can resist that and still feel what's alive in the space that has come alive between our hands. And then once you feel that, take your now warm hands, and I invite you to put your fingers somewhere on yourself that might need some warmth or some attention. Maybe it's a massage moment, or maybe it's a part of your body that has tension that you kind of forget is there and that you don't touch very often, or that you don't give your attention to. And feel that heat that you've created coming from your fingers, and invite it into those spots. And give attention to those parts of your body that work so hard for our whole body, but that doesn't often get the attention that it might deserve. And just feel the gift, both the gift of what it is like to touch and the gift of what it is like to be touched, and the energy exchange that happens in that space. Once your hands have cooled off, you can say, "Thank you, touch."
All right. We are going to move on to sight. How do we pray with our eyes or with what we see? The first thing that came up for me when I was thinking about this was what's happening in Gaza right now. And how in so many ways I feel like there's nothing I can do, you know, or just it doesn't feel like enough no matter what it is that I can do. And as a practice, I've really been witnessing photos, watching videos, seeing people's interviews, just like really putting, not letting myself just ignore or pretend like this isn't happening. And that is the way that I've been praying essentially with them, is just to make sure that I am like not turning my back, and being present with it, and speaking up and voting and, you know, all those other things. But I feel like in particular, it would be so easy in our culture to just not see it and not let that move me, not let that, like, that quiver of your heart happen around it. And so, yeah, so I invite you to think about ways that witnessing can be a form of prayer, especially in a situation where you don't feel like you have a lot of power or control otherwise. And that that witnessing allows us to tell the truth. You know, we are not allowing, there's so many stories that are happening around, you know, it's not genocide and that kind of thing, but in witnessing it, I'm learning the truth, and then I am telling the truth when I stand up and go to a protest or, you know, post something on one of my social media. Yeah, I found this quote online. It was somebody that was talking about, specifically about Palestine, and it was to refuse to confuse discomfort with danger. And I feel like that is really something that can so easily also happen in our culture. To refuse to confuse discomfort with danger. Yeah, do you want to add anything?
Not to take away from that beautiful remark about external vision, but I also invite the practice of internal vision, not as a way of ignoring or dissociating, but as a way of dreaming and as a way of envisioning. I think that while we witness so many things through our physical eyes, and that we just see our world, one way that I try to like remember that I have hope is that there's like ways to dream of a future, and there's ways to feel a sense of building from my own internal dreams, my projections of what a future is. And so I also want to invite that sort of, I feel like the mystics would really understand this kind of the physical eye, but also the eye from within that can like see something beyond just some of the horrific things that we witness just by being humans with each other.
So we have talked about sound, smell, taste, touch, sight, and different ways that we can pray with all of these different senses. And we're going to invite you to figure out how to do that right now. I'm going to lead us in just a brief body scan, and invite you to just like find the ways that in every moment we can pray. We can, depending on what senses, like there's always an opportunity for prayer. All right. So just finding a comfortable position. Sometimes I like rocking at the beginning to just like loosen myself up. And just sensing whatever part of your body is maybe touching the chair or the floor. feeling the gravity holding us to the planet, connecting us to everything. And I invite you to take a couple intentional breaths where you're really thinking about the air moving through your nose or mouth, your lungs filling, your chest rising and falling. And the exhale coming back out of your body into the world. Just noticing what senses are speaking to you right now. Perhaps it's a sound. Maybe it's the feeling of air on your skin. A taste you might have in your mouth. What sense is calling your attention? And how can you engage with that in prayer? Every moment is an opportunity for prayer. I invite you back. I have no idea what time it is because this clock is literally...
It's 2 minutes past 12:30, 12:32.
Oh, good. Perfect.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Jen. Thanks, Pat. Thanks, Michael.
Yes, thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. Now I'm officially done.
Thanks for leading us.
Thanks for coming.
Yes.
Terracotta.